Alright, Budget Magic, Bogles in Standard. And yeah, we can keep that. Don't have any of our hexproof creatures other than Lumbering Falls, but we do have a Monastery Siege and some nice Guru lands. These things are super cheap on Magic Online. I think the island was like less than 10 cents a piece. Forest, for some reason, was expensive. Usually forests are among the cheaper lands, but that one was actually like 60 cents a piece, something like that. Still, compared to paper, great deal. And they look pretty good. Oh, red A. Not sure how this will go. If we can get down a hexproof creature before we get killed and start making it huge with like our rune mark and stuff, we might have a decent shot. Mardu Slide Runner. So this is like a landfall deck or red aggro? I am really not sure. Ooh, there's a Mauler. Oh, what's the right play? I want to play this Monastery Siege, but I also don't want to take a ton of damage. I think we're going to take the slightly riskier route, play Monastery Siege on cons, get the process started, and then next turn we'll start worrying about the board. This deck can just deal so much damage so fast, the Landfall deck. Definitely scary. Cinderglade. Still, Mauler is pretty huge. Abbott. Reveals a Titan Strength that they can cast. Well, we are taking a ton of damage. That was a pretty good hit off the Abbott. Leaves a card on top. Alright, we are down to 13 already. We get to loot. I think we will pitch Claustrophobia. Yavimaya Coast. Oh, can we play Cloud Form here? Thing is, if we play Cloud Form, we still really can't block. I think we need to Claustrophobia, the Slide Runner. Slen, we just have to worry about the Abbott for the time being. If we could get in a position where we could Cloud Form plus Rune Mark in the same turn, that would be nice. Or Cloud Form plus Claustrophobia, something like that. Dragon Fodder. So our opponent's going wide-ish. Looks like we're taking 3 down to 10. Yep. Alright. What can we draw? Forest and Island. Well, I guess we pitch the Rune Mark. Play the Island. Claustrophobia the Abbott. Hope that we keep living. The thing we're scared of is Become Immense, is a really big deal. I think this matchup gets a little better after board, because we can bring in Feed the Clan, which is a ton of life. Really helps us stabilize. Tarka's Command. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3 we're dropping down to. And that's assuming our opponent doesn't have anything else. So I guess we're probably just dead. Forest and Thornwood Falls. I guess we pitch the Forest, play a Forest, cast our Sagu Mauler, but then we're probably just dead to another Atarka's Command is the most likely outcome. That's alright. We have some more game post-board. And we'll be in the play. So we are dead to basically everything. Right down to a Wild Slash. Well, that was unnecessary, but okay. So, against this deck, I think we get rid of Claustrophobia, get rid of a Monastery Siege, bring in the Encase in Ice, would like to bring in some number of negates. Singing Bell Strike is good. Uh, hmm. Retreat is actually pretty solid because it gains us life. What are we getting rid of? The Stratus Walks? I guess we still have enough enchantments getting rid of the Stratus Walks. Let's try it like that. We get to play first. Alright, that's reasonable. Cloud Form into Temur Runemark is good, and negate backup is nice. Oh, looks like our opponent has the aggro star. It's probably a Swift Spear. Yep. Alright, well, we're taking some damage right away. It is one thing about this deck is we do sometimes start off a bit slow. Once we get going, I think we'll be in pretty good shape, but it takes a minute to get going. Especially if they can follow this up with something. Would really like to draw Feed the Clan. That would be really helpful. Because we'll be able to turn it on. And that 10 life would make a huge difference. Alright, here comes Swift Spear. Do we let Titan Strength go? I think we have to. Do we? Actually, let's counter it. Basically counters 3 damage, which is fine. Also counters the Scry. Well, our opponent's just going all in Titan Strength. Okay. So they still get a Scry. They get in 6 damage. They Scryed to the bottom. Now we get to Cloud Form. Hitting a creature would be pretty sweet. Mauler? Negate. Alright. Well, it's still a flying hexproof dude. I think we are not blocking here. Abbott. Well, that might make us block. It's a slide runner. Blocking still feels risky. Alright, no attacks. That's good. Ooh, retreat. Huh. So we can gain 2 life, or we can just play the Strider? I think we just play Strider here. I think that's safest. Give us multiple blockers. Dashes in a Lightning Berserker. Okay. Pumps it. Sure. They just gonna attack with the Lightning Berserker? That doesn't feel that good. Alright, well, we will block and kill it with our Manifest. I guess we just Cloud Form again. Ooh, hitting a Strider. Still no attacks. Kind of playing conservatively. It's possible our opponent was trying to get another card in the graveyard for the combo. Because with 5 cards, they can Temur Battle Rage plus become Immense. If that's the plan, we're pretty much dead. Actually, I think we're just literally dead. Windswept Heath. Our opponent goes attacking. Well, we got a block. So we'll go with Strider and our Manifest. This way, just one spell doesn't make us lose both our creatures. If they play something like a Titan Strength on Swift Spear, we still kill the Abbot. Tarka's Command. Alright. Do they have something else to go with it? Because... well, actually, that's not the end of the world. They wasted a lot of their cards and didn't get much out of it. They spent 2 cards to get in 3 damage. They did kill 2 of our creatures, that is true. Can we afford to retreat game 2? If you only have 1 card in hand, I think we can. Just play retreat. Play forest. Gain 2 life. Ship the turn. This way, if we draw a land, we can Cloud Form plus Rune Mark. Just playing Cloud Form leaves us in a position where we're probably going to lose our creature anyway. Alright, Slide Runner. And Swift Spear. Alright, well, we know our opponent's hand. They're not getting in for that much damage. And we have some good draws. Even lands aren't the worst draws now because we're gaining life. They also have some good draws. Well, now I guess we got a Cloud Form. Alright, we hit an island, which isn't great. Helm of the Gods. Equip Helm of the Gods. Now we're just hoping our opponent doesn't draw anything awesome. And a Tarka's Commander would become immense, specifically. Goes with the big attack. We're going to block the Abbot. Well, apparently they didn't draw it yet. Come on, land. Alright, Lumbering Falls. Good draw. Lumbering Falls gains us 2 life. Back up to 6. And now I think we just pass the turn and use Lumbering Falls as an additional blocker. Alright, Mountain for Slide Runner. Opponent is going to attack. I wonder if they drew something this time. They changed their mind about attacking? They did, okay. Oh, that is a huge draw. I don't know if I can overstate how huge that is. Alright, now we get to Rune Mark up. Our 7. Do we dare try attacking? I think we do. This line's slightly risky, but we're dead to a Tarka's Command anyway. So we attack, get in for 7. Now we're hoping our opponent just attacks with everyone, and then we can feed the clan, gain 10, suit up our Lumbering Falls, and win the game. The way this goes bad is if they have a Tarka's Command to prevent the life gain. Thing is, we would die to a Tarka's Command anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, we'll let it go. Make them play something first. Titan Strength, and in response, we will feed the clan, go up to 16, and win the game. Woo! That was close. But we played that exactly how we wanted to. We suckered them into attacking with everyone, and now we have exactly lethal damage, and our opponent has no way to stop it. So we get to lumber our way in for 10. Man, feed the clan coming through in the pinch. Alright, well, that's a hard matchup, and we won it, so that's pretty sweet. So we need another land with this hand. That is for sure. No turn 1 plays nice. Come on, land. Haha, land. Alright, you have my Coast into Helm of the Gods. If we can get to the point where we're hard casting Maulers, then we're in really good shape. We will just Singing Bell Strike our opponent's first play, whatever 2-drop they play here. Against a deck like this, Singing Bell Strike is almost a hard removal spell. They don't get to 6 mana very often. Abbot is the choice. Exiling a Swift Spear that they can't cast. So now we will Singing Bell Strike the Abbot. Start building up our enchantment count. So that taps down the Abbot. They can pay 6 to untap it, but even then they only get 1 attack with it before they would have to pay 6 again. Slide Runner. And Windswept Teeth. Alright, so we'll go Island into Cloud form. See what we manifest here. A retreat. That's fine. We wouldn't mind drawing an untap land, because that would get us to unmorphing our Mauler on time, which would be a pretty big deal. So we might take a lot of damage this turn. I guess if they have... can they combo? 3 in the graveyard, so they can't quite combo off. So that's good. Makes me feel a little bit better. Still, they could potentially combo off next turn. And they just run out in a Tarka's command, deal 3, creature gains reach, and +1/+1. Alright, so we are taking a ton of damage. But we can't block, we just gotta let it go and hope for the best. Also casting a Titan Strength. Put the card to the bottom. Alright, we dropped to 8. That was a good draw. Get to Encase in Ice, the Slide Runner. So now we don't have any creatures to deal with. We will Helm of the Gods, our manifest. 5/5 flying hexproof, basically a Sigarda. Play our Lumbering Falls, ship the turn. One thing about this deck is it does need creatures. It's not like a burn deck where you have to worry too much about a flurry of burn spells finishing off the game. So our opponent only has 1 card in hand. Next turn they could potentially spend their entire turn untapping something. What do we draw? Ooh, a Strider. Is it better to... Probably Mauler's better, right? We can face down a Mauler. Well, I know we're attacking with our manifest. Puts our opponent to 7. Then I think we do go with Strider. If we go Strider plus Lumbering Falls, the next turn we have... our opponent needs to have a chump blocker to stay alive, basically. Oh, they did find chump blockers. We could also draw more enchantments. Oh, alright. Well, that changes things yet again. I think Feed the Clan seals the deal. We'll get in for 5, putting our opponent down to 2. Play a face-down Mauler. Then we'll just pass the turn. Double block. If our opponent ever... They go with Wild Slash. Alright, they're out of cards. So we don't have to worry about Atarka's command, so we'll just Feed the Clan right now. And that should seal it. With our opponent at 1 card, they can't draw both half of the combo. So I don't think there's any way they can win before our flying hexproof 5/5 takes down the game. Maybe this deck actually works. This one's super cheap too. Well, that's encouraging. If we're actually taking down aggro decks, I feel pretty good about this deck.